Next up, we have to validate the password. Now, I'm going to perform some simple validation here. First of all, I'm going to make sure the user does enter a password. So we'll have a required field validator to do that. And then I'm going to use a compare validator to make sure the user doesn't enter the word password as the password. So first things first, let's copy an existing required field validator and let's paste it here. And let's just tweak some of the properties. So this is going to be called password required field validator. The control that we're validating is the password text box. The error message, let's just change that to be password required. And likewise for the text property, let's also set that to be password required. So let's assume that works and move on to add the compare validator. So the properties we need to set on that one, obviously the first thing is the ID. So let's set the ID to be password compare validator. Now here at this point, you have to set the control to validate, obviously, so let's set that to be password text box. At this point in time, you have a choice. You can either validate this control against another control, or you can validate it against a fixed piece of text. And we're going to do the latter in this particular case. So I'm going to leave control to compare blank. And we'll skim down to the bottom. And we'll set the value to compare to be the word password. So what I'm trying to achieve is to compare whatever the user entered against this fixed string. Okay, let's just go back up to where we left off. The display property, we want to set that to be dynamic. The error message. Now, if the error occurs, it means the user entered the word password as the password. This is not a good password. So let's say for the error message, please choose a more cryptic password. That should get the user's attention. Now here, operator. The operator enables you to test what type of comparison you want to perform. We want to test that the user entered a value that was not equal to the word password. If that validation fails, then the user has caused an error. So set focus on error, we'll set that to true as always. The text message, that text message should be the same as the error message. So let's go back up to the error message and copy the whole line, Control C, into the clipboard and just paste it back in to the text, Control V here. There we go. So let's Control F5, let's run the application and see if that works. So first of all, I'll enter a good password. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if I tab out, so it's accepted that password. That was very good. Now let me enter the word password, Password, and I'll tab out. And it tells me that I really should be thinking a bit harder about my choice of passwords. Just finally make sure that if I don't enter anything, then it detects that as well. There we are. Okay, so that's working fine. So just to reiterate, what we did there is we used a compare validator to compare a value against a fixed value.